Yes, we are alive and kicking it. Thank you for coming here on my channel. I'm sorry if you don't see my face. Uh, like I said, let me say I like let me cover this thing here. But give me enough time to open my books and all that stuff to talk to you as we progress. And sorry if you don't see my face for facial identification process, wise. My funny one of the funniest thing that I ever saw was whenever I used to work at a certain place, um the doors in the certain place will not open in their main buildings. And I will go to these doors and I'll wave at the doors, and I was like, it's an automatic door, why doesn't it see me? And then the door will be stuck and will not let me in the building. And I would laugh so hard. And I was like, I told this lady, I said, every time I'm trying to come through these doors, it don't open. And I'll make a little funny comment. I say, well, maybe I'm too dark. And then the door will literally open. It was so funny. Every time I get there, I'm like, maybe I was so dark. And the door will open. The cutest thing ever. So that's the process that I'm about to talk to you about is this. Let's open doors for hope to come in. Let's open doors for wisdom to come within us. Let's go ahead and educate our children consciously for them to have a brighter future. You see, when people say you educate children, they only speak of a sense of, let me give you this book and read, let's straighten this out, pay easy way, you know, and then you will give me the answer. The lost city of the monkey god, the missing American, furious hours, meta fraud, and the last trials of Happily. Blue bird. Guess what? It was an online book club, and every fourth Wednesday of each month, 10 a.m. virtual meeting via WebEx. So I have this dinner on. I think it's a librarian card that I got. See, so you get this paper over here, and when we speak about education, what I always see people do is this: they always go ahead and repeat exactly how whatever's on the sheet is saying. Okay, all these titles selected for this book can be checked out on an ebook and audio. Yeah. And then, they have created a computer system where the system literally read. Listen, guys, this is how the kids were getting dumber. The system only check answers. You understand? The system only check answers to words that have been formed according to the question that is asked from the textbook perspective. Are you listening? Let me read it back again for you. Our children's conscience were being played upon because they were not able to express themselves accordingly with what the textbook answers were given. How is that? For instance, the boy is going to school tomorrow. The computer read it and said the boy was going to school yesterday. You see, there's two different answers, right? That I just gave you. But wait, the computer answer is gonna say the boy is going to school. You got that right. Okay, let me tell you something. Whenever the computer was scanning the answers from textbook, it was scanning literally the boy is going to school tomorrow. That's all it was saying. The boy is going to school tomorrow, and in the textbook, the boy is going to school tomorrow. So your child went ahead and choose the boy will go to school tomorrow. Did you see what just happened? The boy will go to school tomorrow. The boy is going to school tomorrow. They said, well, it's because something is missing. It was supposed to be the singular word or the plural word or the past or present tense words. And so you come outside of the room and you say to yourself, the boy is going to school tomorrow. The boy will go to school tomorrow. What's the difference? Is the boy going to go to school tomorrow? I say, well, it's the difference is there's a question. One of them is a question and the other one is statements. And I said, um, where is the conscience education part of this? Well, it's because you are saying plural and then singular. And I said, well, where is the singular and the plural? They're like, well, the singular and the plural is when you read singular and plural and the pronouns, you'll come up that it was singular and the pronouns make the sentence. You see, the computer only was getting given check marks upon exactly what's in the textbooks and never gave a check mark upon your child saying, you see, like I said, when if they said, here I come, that's how they speak. Some people are here saying, here I come. And if you are from the British system, you said, I am coming. And so you look at them, and then the computer is saying, the answer is, here I come. And then you are like, the British system is saying, I'm coming here. Which one do I choose? How do I pass? You understand? So you have this in there, and you are like, well, that means I have to conform to the language of what the textbook is saying. I have to conform my mental status, my conscience. I have to downgrade it to the status of here I come or here I am or here I am. You understand? So you reading these things, and then you say to yourself, you say this to yourself, wait, can you guys literally go ahead? Will there ever be I'm telling you, is there ever a right or correct answer to a question? They say, well, yes. Some questions are wrong, some questions are right. And I say, yeah. But if the questions are wrong, some are right. They have made answers these days. That there's five right answers, and they say you gotta just check one where your conscience said is right. And I was like, then how is the computer grading it? Think about it. How is the computer grading it? They have answers that look, the boy is going to school, the boy is going to school, the boy is going to school. The boy is going to school. The boy. I was like, hey, guys, grow up. Y'all can play on the intelligence of our kids. They say, well, it's by status. And it's going to grade it by status and how the baby is trickling. I said, hey, our children cannot be stock market for too long. Oh. You guys, you cannot make our children stock markets for too long. You understand? The stock market was over long time ago. I hope whatever is at the basement, you guys got rid of it. No more stock markets. No, it's too old. You understand? So our children was not really practicing their conscience, and the computer only knows and picks up on the right answer that the examiner has placed at the back. So now with teachers, this is where teachers come in. Where a teacher asks a question in the class, what is this item? And everybody said it, and then it's like, no, what is this item? And they said, well, it's exactly what's in the textbook. Somebody said exactly what's in the textbook, and the person that said exactly what's in the textbook get it right. And you sit down and you say to yourself, this person is a memorized computer sitting. It's a memorized. They only memorize things. That's their learning aspect. But what about the child who explain it from the textbook way without pointing out the exact words from the textbook like that? They said that child is not right. He did not study. You're supposed to study this way, and then you look at them, you're like, why? Why are they doing this? You see, so the way we were educating our children from the ground up, when you want to be a president, you go stand in front of the world, you got to put your suit and tie and everything. Guess what you got to do? That means you got to give the answer accordingly to exactly what's in the book, because the general public was expecting the answer of exactly what's in the book. So that's what they were saying. We gotta educate people. When they say they gotta educate people, you see, it made others think they were illiterate. They use the word illiterate. Guys, I'm bringing your head back. Think. They use the word illiterate because you don't know how to read. Before a judge grants or denies a written motion, the judge holds a brief court hearing. Huh? Because you don't know how to do before the judge grants, you don't know how to do that. Because you are now known as a word so negative, illiterate. Do you see that? You are an illiterate because you are not reading according to the exact computerized words, one by one by one by one, memorization of what the book is saying, turning you to a computer. You are now a bot. You're only following it. So they fail you upon that. They fail your children. Guys, I was in class. I saw a lot of females and males fails classes. And I was like, wait, your system is making people illiterate, but you just don't see it. Why? Because you are programming them to follow a certain path of what you call education, as this is how it's supposed to be. You know what people are going to do? They're going to walk in one line, one logo line, one line left, one line right, one line top, one line up. That's how people are going to do. Nobody is going to sit down and dive deeper in their head and say, well, maybe this is how it's supposed to be. Let's try this. You see, that system got rid of everything that is called natural. Yes. I'm telling you today. Everything that is called natural, the system got rid of it. Everything that literally made a child learn to express their views, their 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 knowledge upon how things work. Guess what happened? It was suppressed. So now you ask yourself, what happened with the education system as well? What happened with the education system? I had teachers teaching the way that the textbook said, and that's it. I'll give you an example. I give you an example. They said, I know somebody that told me, Sarah, you know, just I was going to one of the if you have been to the hospital, what? Let me give you an example. Some other place. Let me give you. They only have the way they diagnose you upon what the computer has already put and entered. Why did they say they do that? I asked, why did they do that? I did. And they said, well, because whenever it comes to legal issues, you have to be able to say um, the person diagnosed according to the water and that's it. Diagnosed according to water retention. That's it. And when any courthouse asks you, they just know that it's diagnosed according to water retention. And I said, this is bad. Why? So you guys are trying to get away from lawsuit legally. So you are willing to give one sentence exactly how it's composed and you put it in there because you always say that's how the computer allowed me to say it. And when you come to courtroom, guess what you're gonna say? You are going to tell the judge, well, it's diagnosed according to this thing, this thing. That's what the computer has given us. So that's why we put. And I don't remember. I don't remember. That's all you guys gonna say? No, that's wrong. You're not gonna come sit in the courthouse, judge's face, and say, I don't remember what this diagnosis is, but I just know that I put this in. No, that's not good. So that's why I was sitting there saying to myself, I said, no, this is not good. Why? So they were not able, they had a place to write their notes, but the notes they put in, the notes that they were composing only was composing according to almost like the computerized structure of things. It's like somebody literally wants you to follow a skeletal system, bones system. And I said, if you guys do that, there is always going to be a victim. And the victim is going to be lack of expression. The victim is going to always feel that they don't have lack of expression. When the victim voice their concern, they are always going to look at as if they are putting too much emphasis on things that don't matter. But meanwhile, their emphasis or the things that they were pointing out that the person lacked from the computer system was probably where the answer lies for the whole case. So I was sitting down there just thinking about it. I said, man, this is wrong. So if these people get in trouble and they gotta go to court, they gotta go to the judge, come see the judge. How does this run? You see, that's a big problem because they have been trained to say no. They said it was for legal issues. I was going, I saw it. That's why they were teaching for legal issues. You understand? And at the job, I saw, hey guys, I saw things like this for legal issues. Everything, everybody pointed out for legal issues. So guess what they do? The 5 words. What is the 5 words? Well, the computer said I should only put these 5 words for legal issues, English language learners of any level. That's it. And I'm like, hey, if something happened to you and you were in court, sister, you gotta explain yourself. Do you have a book? You gotta be able to explain everything that happened over there. They don't have a book. They're like, nah, just put it in. It's not my problem. The upper heads will handle it. I just know that I'll go to court. I just give a testimony and that's it. Ah! I said, wait, you're not gonna explain? No, 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 no. That's it. No, man. Just right there. That's it. I said, huh? Wow. Wow. Wow factor. This is a wow factor. So they were not. I'm like, wait. So how do if you go? I said, when you get in trouble and you go to court, do you guys know how many questions they must ask you to get this answer out of you? They're like, nah. I just know that you guys all make even the court system the cases longer. Some cases are only 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You guys make the cases longer because look at all this. By the time I get to the judge is looking at it like, oh my God, all this? You are just going to waste the person's time. You guys are only going to drag this person, and you guys are at fault because you don't want to say this, nothing. You see? So, what I'm trying to tell you here is this: we have excluded a lot of important things that could help us in this world out of our livelihood. We have excluded it from our families, or I mean, from our jobs, from our everywhere. We have literally excluded these things. And it's part of us, what makes us human beings. You see, if you guys are going to get rid of people's voices, people's way of freedom of speech, all these things, it's almost like freedom of speech is there, but it's restricted. Don't put restrictions upon these things. No, no. Someday you want somebody to defend you. You understand? So where I'm coming with this is we were talking about the student loans. How do they fix these things? I told you. All they have to do, get the kids in school, tell them it's reversed. It's reversed. Now you go to school, pass your classes. When you fail, then you're gonna be in debt to one or two. But now when you've passed everything and then you're going through this, that's something that should have been fixed. So every time I say, God, whenever they figure this thing out, that's when they say, okay, the culture, we are moving forward in our life. We are moving forward in our life and we are not stable to the ground. You see? Yes. And the interest part of it too. The interest part of it, it's like going to buy diapers and now you got interest on diapers. You're gonna pay some interest, man. So every day you are like, did I buy Pampers? Make sure I keep my points down because I need the points to open another one. All these things. Okay, let's give another example if we cannot fix it because now we see that, oh my gosh, everybody is in student loan debt. How do we fix this thing? The first example, let's say I gave it out. You got it. Maybe it's like, that's gonna create a lot of hassle. Well, nah, well, let's give another one. This is it. So a lot of people have put in it. Everything is gone. Now, what did I told you? I said student loan is an example, or the foundation of student loan is the very principle of kids doing chores at home. Okay, it's based upon that principle. Kids doing chores at home. So now you go to your house, you say, okay, my son was playing video. I bought my son the video game. Son, you got a video game, you play the video game, and then guess what? You did bad, so I took it out away from you. Now it's the time for you to give the video game back. Now, what do you do? Mothers, the answers are upon you. What do you do? You just say, what do you do? Come on, guys. You must come and show me that you did the right thing. That's what you do. You must come and show me that you did the right thing. And that is, bring me the certificate that you went ahead and you graduated. The kid comes and show you they graduated. You say, where do you work at? Is it in your field? How long have you worked there? Did you work there more than 5 years? According to the amount of attaining that degree? Yes, ma'am. Then the classes that you pass or the classes that you fail, because you went and work it out, the ones you fail can be forgiven. You understand? But they say, well, we went ahead and make one. Guess what they did? They made one, but they gave it to only fire responders. That's what I heard. They gave it to fire responders and service workers and all that stuff because service workers, firefighters, and all of them, because what did they say? They said because they served the community, so they were able, whenever I think whenever you are able to go teach or something, one of the programs that offered it, you were able to be forgiven for a certain amount. And I was like, wait, but the program is only based upon going out there to teach. If you are a firefighter, if you are a serviceman, but what about those that are not that? But after, it's almost called like this. When after they got their degrees or whatever, guess what happened to them? They were able to continue life, even though the degree didn't serve them well. They got a job somewhere. No child must be left behind. If it has to do with what we call education, no child must be left behind. You see? And when the child come and show you and prove to you that they have before, you see, that's when you must show them the sense of, okay, this is it. You went here and this thing. Did you learn a lesson? Don't do it again. And then you forgive them, and then they go back and say, well, you know what? Now I can continue my education more. Now I met people that are like, Sarah, I'm in so much debt. I don't even think I want to think anything about school. I'm like, why? No, man. I met a friend that was in the hospitality. She wanted to be a nurse. She went from the nursing degree. She didn't succeed. She went from the nursing to the hospitality service, and from hospitality, can you imagine? Mm, It she had like, she's like, so I have almost $80,000 and I work at Taco Bell, and I was like, oh my god. I have 80,000 in debt and I work at Taco Bell. And I was like, she went to TWU. She went everywhere. She's like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm tired. I work at Taco Bell. Can you imagine? I went for the hospitality um degree, and I was like, yeah. So she tried to do it at hotel. She went out. She's like, yeah, because it's taken and all these things. Can you imagine this? Somebody went to hospitality, got a hospitality degree, my business management in hospitality, and they only work at Taco Bell. 80,000 something in debt. You understand? And every time I see her, I'm like, oh, every time I remember her, I'm like, oh my God, this is a crime. Look at me, the same thing. I'm like, this is a crime. But who are you going to tell? Who are you going to say it to for them to realize, okay, we have messed our own children up? It's time for us to learn that our children must be valued. Go to another country. Do you think they're doing this? No way. They're laughing. They're like, look at these folks. They're laughing. You understand? They're laughing because they're like, look, they messed their own children up. They messed their own kids up because I don't know what they're trying to do. They have literally allowed their own children to go through this. Yes. Meanwhile, the money was everywhere in their own system. You see, in their own system, the money was in the prison system. The money was everywhere. So now I sit down and I said, that means none of the systems are working together. They are only presenting themselves as if they're working together, but they don't work together. Don't present yourself as working together, and then when you come inside, it was falling apart. Me, I enjoy myself inside. I dance. I am happy. And when I go outside, I keep it cool. That's how you gotta make it. Oh, guys. So let's go back to the student loan topic. And that is, this is how it's supposed to be. Guys, this is how it's supposed to be. One is this. Is either they give the money to the kids and tell them the new process, get a new name for it, since everything gotta have a new name now. Go get a new name for it. Huh? This is the new name. We have it's called, let me come up with some name right now. It's called Peduca or something like that. Peduca, you know? Peduca. So now we have a Peduca, something called Peduca. And Peduca, what is it? It's a system where it has already paid for the school, for the students and everything. And then once you do Peduca, you literally fail. If you fail a class, you have to go and pay that debt. If you fail this one, you have to go and pay it. If you are not on a Peduca and you have finished or whatever, this is now called um uh I notice it. I notice it. I notice it. Like I notice it. I notice it. So now we have I notice it. So what is I notice it? I notice it is when you are able to bring in your certificate and you are able to show that you did graduate, right? And you did fail some of the classes or whatever class that you fail, you're going to pay for it. And those people that are still, guys, it will help. It's almost like it's the same, but it will help. Don't let us fall into the trap of the government system trying to educate us, telling us no, no, you are only going to be forgiven of a certain percentage from the student loan. It doesn't make sense. Why? Because loans are still upon that loan. It will increase, and maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you have a job, but it's not still enough. Maybe your student loan is like $500,000. Only 20% is how much. It didn't do anything. So it's almost like you're rolling your eyes to it, like, okay, thank you, you did something, but well, whatever. You see, let's make it big, bigger and better. Let's support this ideology. You put it up in the air and people vote upon it. So I'm going to try and write this thing down. I'm going to get a book and I'm going to sign off on it, find how to make my own, and how to tell them to make an amendment or a bill, take it to the government and see how they're going to respond to this. You understand? Because, guys, I have so much ideas that I wanted to give those folks over there. But, like I said, we all have different destinies. Mine is here on YouTube trying to teach you that guess what? Don't let nobody drown your conscience, but exercise it each and every single day. And guess what's going to happen? You will learn to defend yourself when you have nothing, when there's nothing for you to even explain. Don't be the person who says, I have this to explain. What do you have to explain? I can never open my own job. Why? There's nothing in my head. It's emptied out. And I'm like, how? It's emptied out. I just can never think of myself. And I'm like, but how can you never think for yourself when you are out here? doing something scary like this. I just know what I'm doing right now, and I do it over and over and over and over and over. And then after I go home, I go sleep, play with the kids, and sleep. I'm like, damn, this is a boring life. This is a boring life. Okay? This is a boring life. Sweetheart, let's end this thing today. You have got a lot of deprogramming. Let me see. What time is it? It's 6:27. You understand? Let me go ahead and end this program right here. We have done the most today. We have talked, we have listened, we have preached to each other. You know, we have learned that there's a lot for United States that we have covered our eyes upon, and it's not time. Okay, before I leave you see, there's the people that are taking the student loan amount, which is the, give me the name, the collections departments, and I go to the collections department website, and I was like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the collections department is like, if you're on paper this, paper that, you'll be okay. If you write this, if you write that, guys, we don't have to go all the way there. The government system giving loans out, time to take the money, they give it to another collections department to take the money. Oh my god. And then I said, well, where is the collection department take the money? Where does it go to? It go to the education system back up again. I said, how? You know, you guys, you have to ask all these things. You are like, how? They're gonna lose because they gotta pay the collections department and pay themselves. They don't have an education system that somebody is taking it, doing the collection from the education department. They don't have that. We are throwing money everywhere in this country. We are throwing money everywhere, and now it's the time that I said, it's very good. I learned a lesson here in the United States. This is the land of enlightenment, where you come, you learn some lessons, and you decide to walk away, and say, okay, I learned my lessons upon life, and it's time for me to move on. So, some of the lessons I learned, I'm also sharing it with you, and that is, don't get your sons, your daughters to be on a leash. And if there's somebody with leashes that's going around putting other kids inside, let's go ahead and tell them, stop. Stop. We are tired. You understand? Have a wonderful day, y'all. I'll see you guys next round. Bye bye.